Let's rev it up! Because I am sure hungry for one. Help! Help!
What's up, guys? It's Dirty Yugi from Dirty Yugi and the Boys. Today we have
Peeps Yu-Gi-Oh here.
do you have anything you want to say before the video?
I just hope everybody's safe and healthy out there.
Alright, what do you got for us today?
Alright, so today I'm going to show you my updated train deck profile. This is actually Machina Infinitrack train, basically a pile of good Earth Machine cards, so I'll just go ahead and get right into it.
Perfect, let's get to it.
Alright, so the main deck is, we'll start with the Infinitrack cards. 3 Harvester, this is tied for the best normal summon of the deck. And then 3 Dozer. I used to play 2, we play 3 of this now because Metal Cruncher searches, it reveals 3 Earth Machines, so you have to play 3 Dozer, because that's the card you typically want to search for when you summon Metal Cruncher. And then lastly, 1 Trencher. I tried playing some other Infinitrack cards like Tunneler, but right now the games don't typically last long enough in order for Tunneler to like resolve and be as good as you want. So yeah, there's really no reason to play Tunneler. This is just pretty much what you want to play for the Infinitrack cards. Then I play 3 for the train cards. I play 3 Bullet Train, 3 Derrick Rain, and 2 Pegasus, and 1 Night Express Knight. So this used to be the 3rd Pegasus. I'll talk about why you have to play 1 Night Express after I finish the spells. So I'm going to leave this card out. But yeah, so that's it for the train cards. The reason I play 2 Pegasus instead of 3 is because, like, it's not really a good normal summon. It's good in the later turns to normal summon, but you want to at least have 2, so you always have 1 in deck for Switchyard's first effect on your first turn. There's a combo that we'll go over later, which ends on Anger Knuckle plus Switchyard with 2 Super Doras in defense mode, off of 1 Harvester and 1 Switchyard. So that'll be at the end of the video. We'll go over that. But yeah, so that's it for the train cards. And then for the Machinas, we just play 4 monsters. It's 3 Metal Cruncher. This is like your best normal summon of the deck when you start your first turn. And then 1 Citadel. Point of order, this is a going first list, by the way. Just wanted to, shout that out now, because most people think of Train as like a going second OTK deck, which you can play it as that. But with the way the format is right now, you can't really go second effectively and win all the time with how strong the boards are, like with the top meta decks. So I blind first with this deck now. And I only play the 1 Citadel because you don't really need more than 1. The trap puts it back in deck even if it's banished by like DD Crow or Called by the Grave. And there are just a lot of ways to get to it. Like, you can get to it with the Machina Searcher, you can get to it with Switchyard. It just, there's so much stuff. There's so many ways you can get to it, so you really only need 1. And then the last monster is just 3 Ash. I think this is the most generic hand trap of the format. I also played 3 Imperm, which we'll get to. But I think Ash is just good against every matchup right now. I don't main Nibiru because Nibiru Altergeist is around a lot, and my like local meta that I play with online, the people I play online, they don't really have decks that Nibiru is always really good against. So Ash is just the better pick in my opinion for the main deck. I side Nibiru, I just don't main it.
Fair.
So we'll get to the spells. I play 3 Redeployment. Redeployment's the card that if you discard and you have to activate it, discard a card, and then either add 2 Machina monsters with different names, or if you discarded a Machina card, you add 2 Machina cards. So if you open like 2 of it, you can activate it, ditch the other Redeployment, and add a Metal Cruncher plus the trap card. And getting the trap card to hand is like ideal because the trap card's really good. So 3 Redeployment.
You played 6 of your best normal, so I got it.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 Redeployment, 3 Heavy Forward. Heavy Forward is the Infinitrack Searcher. It's like tanky, so you activate it and you really typically add Harvester. But if you already have our Harvester and you normal summon Harvester, they Veiler or Ash it, you can just activate Heavy Forward and search the Brutal Dozer anyway. So that's always really good. Then lastly, 3 Switchyard and a Terraforming for the Searchers. this is, you want to open this card because like this plus Harvester or this plus Metal Cruncher is like your best turn 1 board. And then for the last spell, well, we all know why 1 Cosmic Cyclone's in the main.
You have to main 1 card to out.
Yeah, you have to main 1 card so you don't auto lose to Mystic Mine.
Correct.
It's aggravating, but you know, we still gotta play it. So, okay, I mentioned that I was going to talk about Night Express Knight when I finish the spells.
Yep,
so,
go for it.
Yep, let's talk about that. I'm going to put these to the side, and I'm going to dig for some monsters really quick. So we have the 3 Heavy Forward, the 3 Redeployment. I'm just going to go over some of my reasoning here. 3 Metal Cruncher, 2 Stampede, and there was the Harvesters. So 3 Harvester, okay. So with these cards, these 14 cards, this is what I was playing before I was playing... Actually, sorry, I was playing... these, and this was a 3rd Pegasus. So I was playing, these 15 cards are your starters, okay? And with that, there was I was just under a 92% chance to open a normal summon. And everything in this deck, in order to play, you have to have a normal summon. So I did all the hypergeometric calculator math with this because on stream one time, I was playing in 4 matches in a row. Game 1 of each match, I completely bricked. 4 matches in a row, I just gave my game 1 away because I didn't open a normal summon. So what I ended up having to do was I took out the 3rd Pegasus and I switched it to Night Express Knight, so that way there were 15 normal summons still, and then each of these became a way to get to a normal summon because this can search Night Express Knight, and then you can like tribute for Dozer or whatever. So by putting the single Night Express Knight in, that makes these cards that get to a normal summon, which is 19 cards, and that bumps it to just over a 98% chance to open a starter, basically.
Do you ever brick on normal summons?
No, because a lot of the normal summons can either be discarded with cards like Switchyard, or since I'm counting Redeployment or Heavy Forward as normal summons, these cards become extenders. Like Heavy Forward can search for a Dozer if a normal summon gets negated. Redeployment can discard like a Machina that you draw, or another copy of itself to get another Metal Cruncher. Because like this can discard Metal Cruncher to get Metal Cruncher and the Trap card.
Okay.
And the Trap card's super important. So that's why it seems like a lot of normal summons, but some of these cards also act as extenders instead. Like this, even though it's just... I count it as a normal summon because it can get to Night Express Knight. If you open this plus Harvester, it becomes an extender instead. So that's why, like, it's not really bricking on normal summons.
Okay.
So that's it for that. Let me just mix these back up. Okay. And then for traps, I'll just do, 3 Imperm and then 3 Overdrive. This card's actually incredible. This card kind of really... I don't know, the deck doesn't revolve around it, but it really ties everything in the deck together. It summons Metal Cruncher from deck by destroying a card, and then triggers Citadel Engrave. It summons Citadel out of the deck. You can banish it, and the cool thing about this card is you banish it to shuffle back 3 Earth Machines that are either in the grave or banished back into your deck. So on turn 1, once you do the Infinitrack combo, you usually end with River Stormer Engrave plus Trencher Banished, and you can banish this, put the Trencher back into the deck, put the River Stormer back into the extra deck, and then whatever other Earth Machine you want, and draw a card, and you can do the entire Infinitrack combo again. So, like, every single turn, you just get to do your best combo over and over again, and then your opponent is always at risk of being 1 turn killed. So, this card's awesome.
40 cards in the deck?
Yep, that's a 40 card main. Perfect. And then we'll do... I'll go over the side deck like really quick. You notice I'm not playing Urgent Schedule in the main because it's a going first deck now. But yeah, that's the main deck. Extra deck, Goliath, just one of it because it's just the piece for the Infinitrack combo. 2 Knuckle. Actually, even though the meta is like so ridiculously powerful, Adamancipator and Eldritch are like super strong. Your hardest matchup is Lost World Dino, because Lost World makes it so when there's a token on the board, you can't target anything besides like the token, and this deck has to target its own cards, like Overdrive and Citadel have to target your own monsters in order to resolve their effects. So Lost World shuts that all off. So also Lithosogem gets rid of... You need Anger Knuckle, so if you only play 1 Anger Knuckle and they banish it, it hurts. Clifford Genius, Pentastag, I'm probably going to take this out for a second River Stormer, but I mean, it's only come up for me like literally one time in my entirety of playing trains, so I'm probably going to take it out. And then Nightmare Phoenix, just generic good linked stuff to get rid of Floodgates. Then for Xyz, the one River Stormer. This is even better now because of Heavy Forward. This card's effect that not a lot of people know about when it's in the grave is it you can summon it back by sending an Earth Machine you control, or Earth Machine Link monster you control to the grave. So what you can do is like discard a monster for Anger Knuckle to summon itself, and then you can use Stormer to send the Anger Knuckle back to the grave to summon it in defense position, and then Heavy Forward can attach to it as a material, and then you just detach the Heavy Forward you just detached to search for whatever Earth Machine you need to go for another OTK. So it's really cool now. River Stormer is like even better than it was before, so that's why I'm bumping it up to 2. 2 Dora, 2 Gustav, 2 Leave. These are pretty self-explanatory for trains. And then Sky Palace Gangradai. This card's really good now because Altergeist is back in the format, and you can pop 2 cards if it has a Dairy Crane underneath it, so that's really good. And then this card is mandatory in the extra deck now, because before when I was playing it, it was kind of a gimmicky thing that you could use to steal games sometimes. Now, because you have 6 copies of Harvester, and you can always search Harvester, this card you can always make it. It's always attainable, and it just banishes the opponent's entire special summon board. Yeah, I think this card is a mandatory. If you're playing the Infinitrack train version, there's really no reason to not play this card.
Okay.
That's super good. Side deck, like I said, side decks are really kind of streamlined now, so there's not much to talk about. The only thing I'll really mention is Urgent Schedule is a side deck card now. If you're going up against a more grindy matchup like Invoked Eldritch, you can just side an Urgent Schedule, so that way you'll have an extra thing that's an extra blowout if you're going second. I wouldn't main it though. Setting it used to be good when the format was slower if you were going first, but you could brick on it. It's just better in the side deck if you know you're going second. Twin Twisters, I don't have Lightning Storms, but I'm not going to make an argument to justify playing Twin over Lightning Storm, but there are some matchups if it's a grindy matchup and you're in the middle of the game state, or in the middle of the game, and you can't really get your face-up cards off the board, there is an argument to playing Twin over Lightning Storm, but Lightning Storm's obviously better. 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Nibiru. Like I mentioned, there's an argument for maining it in this deck, because if you set up Super Dora on turn 1 with a Nibiru in hand, you can leave the Dora on board after you Nibiru them, because you can make it, you can chain link 1 Nibiru, chain link 2 Dora, so the Nibiru doesn't take your Dora off the board, but it's not worth maining right now. There's too much back row stuff. And so that was my cat, everyone. And then 3 Evenly Matched. It's just evenly matched. There's no reason to, it's the best side deck card. So that's the full deck. So another point of order really quick, I forgot to mention, with Overdrive and where is it? Citadel. These cards do not have to destroy your machine in order for them to resolve their effect, because they do not have "and if you do" written on them. So if you have, let's say you have Citadel and a Super Dora on board, you activate Citadel, targeting the Super Dora to destroy the monsters your opponent controls, and you chain the Super Dora, you can, the Super Dora will save itself, but your opponent's monsters will still get destroyed. So, yeah, you don't have to destroy stuff for Citadel, and you don't have to destroy a monster in order to resolve Overdrive to summon Citadel from deck. So I just wanted to point that out. Now I'm going to go over the combo. Okay, so this is the combo that I mentioned earlier. Basically, all you need is either Harvester or Metal Cruncher, or a way to get to one of those cards. So you could have Heavy Forward or Redeployment, the Machina Searcher. And any monster in your hand. So I'll just do a second copy of Harvester just for, just for example. But so the first thing we're going to do is I'll just put Switchyard on the board. So we're just going to activate Switchyard, and then we're going to normal summon Harvester. So we'll keep this in our hand over here. So normal summon Harvester, activate Harvester effect, and you're going to add Brutal Dozer to your hand. And then you're going to activate Brutal Dozer's effect in your hand, sending this to the grave, summoning it, and then activating Brutal Dozer's effect, summoning Trencher from the deck. And then you're going to overlay these into River Stormer. And then you're going to activate River Storm's effect, putting a Trencher in the grave to search for your Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane. And then, in order to be able to summon the Derrick Crane, we're going to link 1, sending the River Stormer off the board, summoning Goliath. And then, because Goliath was summoned, Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane effect activates in the hand, summoning itself, which triggers the first effective Switchyard. And the first effective Switchyard is to summon a level 4 Earth Machine from your deck to the board, making it a level 10. So we summon the Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede from the deck, and we are going to target the Harvester in our graveyard. Okay, so Harvester gets summoned, and this is naturally a level 10 now because, or like originally a level 10 now because of Switchyard's effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede's effect, targeting the Harvester. And the way Stampede is worded is you target another monster on your side of the board, and you can either make it become the level of the monster you targeted, or the monster you targeted become the level of it. So now that it's a level 10, your Harvester becomes a level 10, okay? So then what we're going to do is we are going to overlay these two into our first copy of Superdora. Then we are going to activate Trencher's effect in the graveyard, banishing itself, targeting our Brutal Dozer. Summon it. And then we're going to link off our Goliath and our Brutal Dozer to summon Anger Knuckle. And then Goliath's effect activates, targeting the Superdora, attaching it to the Superdora. So it has 3 materials, okay? Then we need to get a level 10 in the grave to activate this Anger Knuckle, so we're going to detach the Derrick Crane off this effect, make it so it targets itself. Then we're going to activate Anger Knuckle's effect, sending the card in our hand to the grave to summon the Derrick Crane. And then because we have 2 level 10s, overlay these 2 for the second Superdora. So what we end with is a Superdora that cannot be destroyed by card effects, because it has Goliath underneath it, and a Superdora that has a Derrick Crane underneath it, so it's basically a Dryden. And we still have an Anger Knuckle on the board, so during the opponent's turn, throughout their turn, you'll activate this Superdora, detaching the Derrick Crane, to make this card unaffected, and then you can pop whatever card your opponent controls. And we can use Anger Knuckle, sending itself, to summon the Dora from the graveyard. And then, because we summoned an Earth Machine, we can activate this effect to summon the other Stampede out of the deck. I'll just use the one that's attached, just for example purposes. So this gets summoned from the deck, and then this activates to summon the Harvester back. So this is what you end with during your opponent's turn. And obviously this is all uninterrupted, but they have to be able to deal with this. So you've got a card that can turn this into a level 10, because it's naturally a level 10 right now because it was summoned off the Switchyard. So you have 2 level 10s, a card that can become a level 10, and 2 big unaffected things that will turn into Leap during their next turn if they don't deal with them. So your opponent, that's why I like this as a going first deck now, because your opponent throughout the entirety of the game is always at threat of being OTK'd. So yeah, that's the deck. It's super fun. It's not like the best deck of the format, obviously. It's not going to be able to just consistently beat Adamantipator and Eldritch all the time, but it's just a really fun way to play the deck right now, and you will see some success with it online. I have been seeing a lot of success with it on Rated. So yeah, that's it.
All right, any last words?
Yeah, like I said, my name's Peeps. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/peepsygo every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. So thanks so much for having me on your channel.
All right, this is Dirty Yugi from Dirty Yugi and the Boys signing off. Have a wonderful day.